Imagine stepping outside your home and having your eyelashes freeze in seconds, where a breath of air feels like tiny needles stabbing your lungs, and where your car engine groans like it's alive, refusing to wake up in the morning. This isn't a scene from a sci-fi movie. It's the everyday reality for people living in some of the coldest inhabited places on Earth, where winter temperatures routinely drop to a bone-chilling -50 degrees Celsius. In today's video, we'll take you deep into the frozen heartlands of Siberia, parts of Canada, and remote Alaskan towns, where surviving the cold isn't just about endurance. It's about a way of life. From frozen meals to midnight blackouts, from schools that never shut down to homes built like bunkers, this is what daily life truly looks like at -50 degrees Celsius. At -50 degrees Celsius, your day begins even before the sun rises. That's because in winter, the sun barely makes an appearance, sometimes only for a few hours. People often wake up in pitch darkness, even at 8 or 9 in the morning. The first challenge? Heating. Most homes run on wood-burning stoves, coal furnaces, or oil heaters. These need to burn all night long, non-stop. If the heat goes off for even a few hours, water pipes can freeze and burst, and inside temperatures can become deadly in minutes. Getting out of bed isn't easy. Imagine sleeping under 3 thick wool blankets, with thermal pajamas, and still feeling a chill. Floors can be ice cold, so people often keep their boots or slippers right beside the bed. Even brushing your teeth is an adventure. The water in your bathroom pipes is often just warm enough to function. In rural homes without indoor plumbing, people use water from heated storage tanks or melt ice and snow for daily use. At -50 degrees Celsius, what you wear is not just about comfort, it's about survival. Layers are essential. The first layer is usually thermal underwear, followed by wool sweaters and fleece pants, and finally a goose-down parka or a fur-lined coat. Outer garments must be windproof, waterproof, and breathable. Feet are covered in felt boots or reindeer skin mukluks, and hands in fur-lined mittens. Gloves are useless at these temperatures. Fingers freeze too fast. And the most critical item? A face mask or balaclava. Exposed skin can suffer frostbite in less than 5 minutes. Even talking outside can be painful. Moisture from your breath can instantly turn into frost on your eyelashes, eyebrows, and scarf. Children often look like tiny astronauts walking to school, bundled head to toe, barely able to move. Cars and machines don't like -50 degrees Celsius. Batteries freeze. Engine oil becomes thick like molasses. Rubber tires stiffen and crack. So how do people get around? In places like Yakutsk, Russia, people never turn off their cars, not even at night. If you do, there's a good chance it won't start again until spring. Some cars are equipped with block heaters or diesel-powered preheaters that warm the engine and fluids before ignition. But these require electricity, which isn't always reliable in remote areas. Public transportation, it exists, but buses must be stored in heated garages and run continuously to stay functional. Some people rely on snowmobiles or sleds pulled by dogs or reindeer, especially in rural or indigenous communities. Simply waiting for a ride in the open air becomes a test of mental fortitude. Bus stops often have heated booths, and people time their departures with military precision. At -50 degrees Celsius, grocery shopping becomes, well, a real logistical challenge. In these remote towns, food supplies are often delivered in bulk just once a month, by truck, plane, or even along ice roads when they're available. Perishables don't actually spoil, they just freeze solid. Milk, eggs, and meat are usually stored outside in covered containers. No fridge required at all. Fancy some frozen berries? Just grab a handful straight from a bag on the balcony. Cooking indoors really becomes a central part of daily life. High-fat, high-protein meals are the norm. Stews, meats, root vegetables, and animal fats all help to keep your body warm. In native communities, people still rely on hunting and fishing for survival. Ice fishing, even in the brutal cold, remains a vital source of protein, and the catch is often flash frozen within minutes. Traditional meals include things like stroganina, raw, frozen fish sliced thin and eaten kind of like sashimi. It's a real delicacy in Yakutia, and honestly, hot tea is life. Folks drink it constantly throughout the day to stay hydrated and warm from the inside out. You might think that -50 degrees Celsius means school closures and remote work, but not here. In many of these cold regions, schools don't actually close until it hits -52 degrees or even lower. Children walk to school bundled up in heavy layers, and classrooms are often kept warm with multiple heaters. Teachers encourage kids to bring extra socks and mittens, just in case their first set gets wet. School days might be shortened, but they're rarely skipped if it can be helped. For adults, most work just continues as usual. People are busy in mining, oil drilling, forestry, transportation, and local government. Outdoor jobs rotate workers more frequently, letting them warm up every 15 to 30 minutes. Construction, on the other hand, slows down or stops entirely during extreme cold. Concrete won't cure properly, and metal tools become brittle. Remote work is getting more popular, but poor internet and frequent blackouts make it, well, pretty unreliable in some regions. Believe it or not, people still find ways to have fun, even in this kind of weather. In villages and towns, winter sports like ice hockey, skating, snowmobiling, and sledding are popular, though done in short bursts. Some communities host winter festivals celebrating indigenous culture, storytelling, and music. People gather in heated tents or wooden halls, drink hot broths, and share tales of survival. Children build snow forts, ice sculptures, and play outdoor games, always under close supervision, and usually not for more than 30 minutes at a time. Indoors, community centers and homes become vital. Neighbors check on each other regularly. Long nights are spent playing board games, making crafts, or preserving food for the next season. Entertainment may be limited, no theaters, no malls, but the cold fosters a tight-knit, resourceful lifestyle. At -50 degrees Celsius, small mistakes can be fatal. Frostbite is a daily threat. It begins with numbness, then white or grayish-yellow skin, and if untreated, can lead to tissue death and amputation. Hypothermia is another danger. Losing body heat too quickly, especially if clothes get wet, can spiral into unconsciousness. Locals are trained from a young age to recognize these signs. Schools teach cold weather survival, and families pass down knowledge on layering, fire starting, and emergency shelters. Respiratory health is also at risk. Inhaling supercooled air can cause throat irritation or lung issues. Many people wrap scarves over their mouths to warm the air before it reaches the lungs. Healthcare systems must adapt. Doctors use special equipment for frozen injuries. Ambulances need to be pre-warmed. In some towns, emergency flights may be the only way to reach larger hospitals, if the weather allows it. Living in -50 degrees Celsius isn't just physically tough, it takes a mental toll. The lack of sunlight leads to seasonal depression or SAD. People use light therapy lamps, vitamin D supplements, and structured routines to cope. Social isolation can increase during long winters. Communities encourage frequent gatherings, storytelling, and maintaining traditions to uplift spirits. Despite the challenges, people take pride in enduring the cold. There's a strong sense of identity, heritage, and resilience tied to these environments. The cold becomes more than a backdrop. It becomes a part of who they are. So what does daily life look like at -50 degrees Celsius? It looks like determination, like adapting every habit to survive. It's layers of wool, clouds of breath, frozen windows, and steaming soups. It's waking up in darkness and finding warmth in the community. It's enduring, thriving, and finding beauty in a world where most would flee. While the rest of us shiver at the thought, these brave souls live it every single day, and they don't just survive, they live.